toot, 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 toot. Pum, 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 pum. Alright, so I'm waiting for people to show up. You know, I wasn't even planning on doing this live stream. It's just something I felt like, let's do something. Let's do some 720p 60 Gran Turismo Sport racing. Let's do some real VR racing. Let's see what we got. I'm waiting for some more people to show up, then we're gonna do this. What I'm gonna try to do on this live stream, I'm gonna try to unlock and beat my best racing time trial challenge, and after I beat my previous record, I'm gonna try to see if I can open any new cars and new venues and whatnot. So that's what I'm gonna do here. Alright, so anyway, without any further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. If I don't like see your chat, that's probably because I have this thing on my head. I have this racing thing, this VR headset on, and that's why I can't see what you guys are typing. But from time to time, I want to jump in. I'm gonna see what you guys are typing, but just don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm not ignoring you if I don't read your chat. Obviously, as you can see, I have this thing on, so obviously I can't see what you guys are typing. So let's go ahead and let's do this, shall we? Alright, let me get my racing wheel. Let's do it. Alright, here we go. See if I can beat my best time. You can see it right there on the dashboard. I was gonna use my racing wheel, but it's just too much hassle, man, for me to hook it up and plug it all in. I might do that maybe. And yes, you can unlock a Formula 1 in this game, but it will take you a while to open that menu. Currently I'm using a sensor controller right now, what you guys are seeing, just like a sensor controller. And what do I mean by sensor controller? Well, this is what I mean. It's like this basically. I'm using the DualShock controller right here with a sensor. It has a built-in sensor, as you guys know. That's what I'm basically using. Originally I was gonna use the wheel, my Thrustmaster 150, but I figured, right now it's just too much of a hassle. I might do it tomorrow. So I figured let's just try to beat my best time here, and let's work on that. All right, let me see something. All right. Don't be shy, guys. You can type something in there. How many of you own PlayStation VR? And let me ask you this: how many of you are like into VR to begin with? I know everybody's kind of curious about the whole virtual reality, and I know there's plenty of options out there. So if you guys have any questions regarding VR, definitely ask me. I can answer any of these questions to you because I do have pretty much every VR headset, from HTC Vive, from Windows Mixed Reality, from Oculus Go, Oculus Rift, alright, and of course PlayStation. So I have tried all of them, so I can maybe give you guys some pointers. In general, kind of help you out, so that way you guys can decide which VR headset experience is best. You know, a lot of people also been asking me, like, what do I prefer? Racing, do I prefer Forza 7, or do I prefer Gran Turismo Sport? Well, I've always been a Gran Turismo guy. Ever since, first Gran Turismo and Turismo 2 and 3. 3 was A-Spec 3 was my favorite, so I've always been Gran Turismo. However, Forza, it's something that I look into as a secondary race that I would do in terms of gaming. It's like my secondary choice for racing. First choice, it's Gran. My second choice is Forza. And then on a PC, for sure, I would say Project Cars 2. Project Cars 2, it's probably one of the best racing simulators you can get. But if you really want a great competitive racing sim, which is also expensive because you have to pay a subscription to it and you have to pay for the cars and tracks and all that, I think iRacing is definitely that choice. If you really want to get serious, want to get the best possible racing experience, I think iRacing will definitely do that. You know what else I just noticed? I just noticed that I've noticed how much the PlayStation VR in terms of resolution has really been outdated. And I think we'll see PlayStation VR 2 with probably high resolution, something that's equal to the Samsung Odyssey and HTC Vive Pro. I think we'll see that high res, and I personally believe the new PlayStation VR 2 is going to be about roughly $500. It'll has to be $500 because if you look at the current market and how much these high resolution mixed reality headsets are going for, they're going for $400. So I definitely can see PlayStation VR 2 go for $500. But it will be definitely worth the price of admission, especially with the new PlayStation 5 that's going to be arriving, being announced. I think PlayStation 5 we'll see it 2020, November. Honestly, I think they're going to announce it this year. And then next year we'll find out some more specs about it, everything else. But 2020, it's probably, let's be reasonable, 2020 is probably release date. And if I'm not reading your comments right now, that's because I'm trying to beat my record here. Time trial challenge. I'll do pause. I can pause and see what you guys are saying if you want. What's up, Ralph Perez, man? The game, it's actually, it's pretty good. You know, Gran Turismo Sport, it's definitely the best. There's actually 3 racing games that I recommend. If you're going to be purchasing PlayStation VR, and I think PlayStation VR, it's the most affordable choice to go with. All right. You don't have to necessarily have PlayStation 4 Pro. You can go with PlayStation Slim. PlayStation 4 Slim for $250, and then get this for $300. So right around, let me see, $300, $200. So for like $600, you can have the whole package deal, which I think it's a great cheapest way to go with. And PlayStation VR is definitely going to give you a bunch of different experiences. But let's get back to my 3 top choices that I would go with. Gran Turismo Sport, Drive Club, and Dirt Rally. So Gran Turismo Sport, Drive Club, and Dirt Rally. Those 3 are the best 3 racing experiences you can get on the PlayStation VR. Not to mention all the other exclusives they have. I mean, Christ, you can play Skyrim on PlayStation VR. Just Skyrim alone, it should be worth the price of admission. All right. So anyway, let's get back to this. Right now, I'm not using any steering wheel. It's just I'm guilty. I'm guilty of it. I was just too lazy to put my whole setup with a chair and everything. It's just I was too tired to. I was working all day long. I was too tired to bring up my chair, to bring up my racing wheel setup. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll position my camera directly onto a wheel. Right now I'm just using my sensor controller. But what I'm using, it's Thrustmaster T150. You guys have seen it, Thrustmaster T150. I think Thrustmaster T150 is definitely the best choice to go with because number one, is cheap. It's only like 150 bucks. And for 150 bucks, you're getting a really good Thrustmaster racing wheel that has actually two belts built inside of it. So that way it gives you that nice grip, you know. All right, and I'm kind of guilty that I didn't set up my setup tonight, but I will make that setup tomorrow. I promise to you guys. I will have that set up. I'll put the lights on it and everything, and I'll position my camera. All right, I'll position my GoPro Hero 6 camera, okay, like this right now. You can see I'll position it and everything. I'll have it facing my racing wheel and all of that, but I'll do that tomorrow. I'll lit up the entire room. All right, people ask me what I use for the lighting. Here, let me show you. This is what I'm using for the lighting. I'm using the Hue Phillips. Hue Phillips. Hold on one second. I'm using Hue Phillips lighting, and Jesus Christ, I forgot my. This is ridiculous. I forgot my freaking code. Here we go. I'm using Hue Phillips lights, and you see, like right here, you can choose what type of color would you like, you know, and I don't know if you guys can see it. Like I can choose any type of color that I want here. I can get it, see like different colors. I can move it around, and maybe we should leave it at red. I don't know. And I can adjust how much I would want. So it looks kind of cool. It's pretty cool, you know. We can leave it at yellow. I don't know which one's the best. Is this one the best right here? Hold on. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, this is good. Red. We're going to be like red, red, red. It's going to be red. And that's what I'm using. I'm using Hue Phillips lights. Can you use the Oculus Rift on the PlayStation 4 or no? Sean, unfortunately you cannot, because Oculus Rift and the hardware and the software requires a PC. So you cannot tether a Oculus Rift with PlayStation 4. This is why PlayStation 4 Pro has their own VR and their own exclusive VR games. And I like the fact that PlayStation VR, it's making their own virtual reality headsets. And you know what's really funny? Let me show you something. You know what's really funny? A lot of these companies are taking the same design from PlayStation. How strange and funny that is, that all of these companies are using the same exact design that PlayStation, that Sony has originally made for their VR headset. Like if you look at, for example, my Dell visor. Here, let me show you my Dell visor here, since we're talking about that. Here, let me show you. Let me grab my Dell visor, which is right over here. And you will see right now here. And you will see that it's exactly like PlayStation here. Let me just put it like this. Maybe I can hold it like this, and you guys will see that it's almost identical. It's almost identical to the PlayStation. See that the straps and the visors and everything, it's really similar to what we got going on here. So that's kind of interesting that they did that, you know. So let me put my Dell visor over here really quick. A lot of people have been asking me about the Dell visor and Windows Mixed Reality. Well, the one cool unique feature about Windows Mixed Reality is the fact that you don't have to be dragging all these cables and sensors. Like HTC Vive, it's a nightmare. I do have HTC Vive, but HTC Vive, it's a nightmare, which I have set up in my other room. It's a total nightmare just to put all the sensors and put everything on. But once you do that, once you have all the sensors, once you have everything connected, HTC Vive, if you have that extra room with measured scale and scanned scale on your room, you're definitely going to have a much better experience. But in general, I think, if you ask me, I think PlayStation VR is the best choice, the best and the cheapest choice to go with. Everybody's got, most of the people have PlayStation 4 in their house, and PlayStation VR, it's very easy to connect, it's very easy to play, and PlayStation VR has truckload of games, not to mention bunch of exclusives. PlayStation VR has a bunch of exclusives games. So really, there's no reason for you not to purchase PlayStation VR. If you love VR and if you want to start into VR as your first time stepping into VR, I think PlayStation VR is going to set you up into what this experience is all about. Yeah. So, what HDMI cord am I using? Currently, I'm using the my regular 2.0 cable. Okay, from AudioQuest, I'm using my regular 2.0 cable. However, I did use HDMI 2.1 Belkin with PlayStation VR, and I did notice that it's a bit brighter. Like the picture and everything becomes a bit brighter. I don't know why, and I should have done the video on that. Actually, I might do that video. I might show you how to do that. I use two HDMI 2.1 cables. One that goes into the PlayStation 4 Pro and then into the hub, and another one that goes out from the PlayStation VR hub into the TV and the monitor. Okay, and then into your cable, which is right here, the PlayStation VR. What's the cost of the PlayStation VR? I think right now you can get it for $350 in a bundle. You can get Gran Turismo, you can get Doom, you can get Skyrim, you can get Resident Evil, you can get a bunch of bundles. Or if you buy it standalone with the camera and a headset without the controllers, those, what you call them, Jesus, I keep forgetting. These things, you guys remember these? The move controllers, without the move controllers, you're looking at like $250. So, oh, for the cord, for the HDMI, Belkin, it's $29, and the best place for you to buy the Belkin cable, it's at Apple. If you're in the United States, every state, pretty much every city, especially the big metropolitan cities, they have Apple Store. Go on your Google search and see where's the nearest Apple Store. Mainly they're like in the malls or outside of malls, depending on like which big city you are in. All right, but most of them, most of the cities they have in the United States, they have Apple Store near you. Go to the Apple Store, grab one. You're gonna find it there. That's what I would do. So $29 for the Belkin HDMI 2.1 cable. It's definitely worth it. Plus, it's future-proof for the next generation 2.1 chipsets. So that's what I would do. AudioQuest, they're too expensive. Damn it. I wish I could recommend AudioQuest, but they're just too damn expensive. They're asking $60 for the regular, you know, like 6 feet. For the 12 feet, they want $120. It's just too goddamn expensive. I'm sorry for the language. Sorry, Magnolia Best Buy, but it's just too expensive, man. AudioQuest is just too expensive, and it's not really doing anything specifically great in terms of visuals. In terms of your home theater, they do something magical. So if you want to connect your home theater pass-through, your main cable to go as your pass-through, I would say AudioQuest is definitely the best Dolby Atmos HDMI cable that I would recommend. They really have specifically, I think it's called a Cinnamon, or my God, they have different names. Like they use the names that represent the color of the fruits, believe it or not, and they have different names of these cables, these models. And one of them, it's like $130. It's like 12 feet. And when you connect that cable from AudioQuest, I have to look it up. I have to go in my other room. I can't remember the name on top of my head because it's been a long time since I bought one. But I might do a video. I might show it to you guys. This HDMI cable from AudioQuest, that goes out from your main TXNR 777 receiver onto your return ARC. You know, you return ARC HDMI for Dolby Atmos, especially if you have OLED from LG. You're gonna get the best steady, without any lag, no delay, perfect Dolby Atmos experience. So Audio Quest, it's perfect for home theater, but for the visuals, I would go with the Belkin HDMI 2.1. Does this make sense? For the audio, use Audio Quest. For the visuals, use Belkin. So mix it up. I might do a video on this. Right now, I'm kind of butchering it because this is a live stream, so I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to do a video on this to kind of show you what I'm talking about. Yes, Belkin and Audio Quest, but remember, use the Audio Quest for the home theater, for your ARC return signal, so that way they sink in. You see what I'm saying? Because some people have been complaining, oh man, I have a home theater, but I've been watching Saving Private Ryan, and the bullet, I see bullet hit, but then I hear the sound later on. That's the delay. You're having the delay because, you know, you don't have the proper HDMI cable to do so. You need a really good high bandwidth cable that will do that, and Audio Quest 12 feet will definitely do that for you. So I use Audio Quest for the home theater, and then I use Belkin 2.1 HDMI cable for the visuals. All right, I mix it up like that. Hey Alexander, how you doing, man? All right guys, let me finish this. Let me do some more. Let me I'll read your comments, don't worry about it. Let me just jump into this really quick. Let's do this. Oh, this music is, hold on. This music is just killing me. I don't know why I have my music on for the Gran Turismo. This one, I'm really kind of surprised by their music selection on Gran Turismo Sport. It's just, it's not bad. I was hoping for more. See, that's my ghost. I'm trying to beat my ghost. I'm trying to get to trying to beat my record. I was trying to figure out if there's any way that I can implement the text messages, not the text messages, the commentary with a comments on my VR headset, but you can only do that through PlayStation. You cannot do it through Elgato. Like, I wish that I can put something like a widget or something on my VR headset so I can read your comments. Unfortunately, I cannot do it like this. People ask me, why don't I live stream directly from PlayStation VR, directly from PlayStation. Originally I was going to do that, but I don't want to deal with trolls. I don't want trolls coming into my channel. They screw up the entire experience. It's just annoying. They come in to crash the stream, and I don't want to give them that opportunity to do so. That's why I'm not doing it directly from PlayStation. But let me beat my record here. Let me see how I did. 227. Alright, we're gonna exit. Let's do it. I did 227, it's pretty good. Alright, I got some money. Got some money. That's hilarious, though. Let me read some of these comments. Hold on. You're welcome, Kim. Let's see. Yeah, that one, the dark one, was actually pretty good. But that one's more expensive. You see, the one that's dark one, I forgot what they call it. I think it's called Blackened Edition or something like that. That one, it's about $79 for like 6 feet. I don't know how your receiver is set up. Audio Quest, it's expensive. They're good, but they're good for the audio. I use them for my receiver. For the visuals, for the 4K HDR, I use Belkin. So hopefully this makes sense. If you're gonna use a Audio Quest, make sure you use it as a ARC return for your audio receiver. So that way you're getting that separate sync in Dolby Atmos mix. And then you have Belkin connected directly to your TV from your player. So you have everything synced in without any delay. So everything looks great. The Dolby Vision visuals looks great, and the Dolby Atmos sounds great without any delay. All right, because you don't want that delay. If you have a delay on that mix from your receiver, the movie's gonna look like crap. You'd be like, what the heck is this? I saw the bullet hit, but then I hear it bullet a few seconds later. That's a delay. You don't want that. And Audio Quest will make sure there is no delay. All right, let's go do some more races here. Let's do it. Let me try and pick up another car. You guys can type your questions and everything. I'm gonna read them. Don't worry about it. I will read your questions. Let's see what else we got here. Let's try BB Raceway. I haven't done this one in a while. Let's do this one. And let's do a sunrise. And let me pick up a car here. Let's see what we got. FT1 VGT. Let's go with the FT1 VGT. I haven't used this one in a while. It's by Toyota. Toyota. I think they don't call it Toyota. They call it Toyota. Colonel, did you just say Toyota? Yes. Where's R2D2? Oh, it's right here, dude. It's right there. That's where it's at. Oh, this is pretty cool. I definitely need to put my racing wheel T150 Thrustmaster and do this. I was gonna do it tonight, but I was just like, man, it's too much of a hassle putting that thing together with the racing chair and all that. But I'll do it tomorrow. I'll put a setup. I'll position my GoPro Hero 6 camera directly onto a racing wheel. So you guys will see my racing wheel and you will see this game, Gran Turismo Sport, react to my racing wheel. But motion sensor, it's something that I've been using as well on the PlayStation controller. It seems to work pretty well, at least to me. So yeah, if you guys have any questions regarding the VR, because since we are here, you know, talking about the VR, I mean, if you want to ask me 4K TV questions, that's fine too. But I think it'd be kind of cooler if you guys ask me about the VR, since I do have these VR headsets. And if you guys are interested in maybe stepping into a virtual reality, I can give you some key pointers as to which VR headset would be the right for you. They all pretty much give you that same immersion experience. The only difference is the tracking and resolution and the brightness, and of course the price. My ghost right there. Trying to be a ghost, but I think I'm doing pretty good, even with the with my racing motion controller. I'm using this is what I'm using right here, in case you guys are wondering. You see this motion sensor? You see this motion sensor? That's what I'm using. This built-in motion sensor inside a PlayStation 4 controller. That's exactly what I'm using. It really one more lap, and then I'll see what I got. Oh no, screwed it up. Yes, you can, somebody's been asking, can you unlock the Formula 1? Yes, you can unlock Formula 1, but unlocking Formula 1 will take a while. You're gonna have to be playing like some very high difficulty in order for you to open the Formula 1. But yeah, they do have Formula 1. It is available. Another question has been asked of me is, does the PlayStation 4 Pro help in terms of visuals? PlayStation. There's few games here and there that kind of enhance the visuals. It's really not a big major difference. It's not like a huge leap or anything. I think the next huge leap is PlayStation VR 2. PlayStation VR 2 is going to take the full advantage of PlayStation 5. And right there, with the PlayStation VR 2, we're going to see some pretty outstanding. Let's finish this race. Then I'm going to read your comments. Get some more credits. Unlock some good stuff. Do it. Come on. There we go. That's it. Let's exit. Let me look at my best time here. Let me look at the comments. So yeah, Kim, Belkin for the visuals is the best way to go. Hey, Ralph Perez, man. Sorry, man, but I'm not drinking anything tonight. I'm not drinking nothing tonight. Today's the sober day. Let's see what else we got. All right, these are the same questions, you know, and of course, minus a couple of salty trolls. Usually they're up in the water. You're bound to have a couple of them when you go out fishing. It's gonna happen. You know, I really wasn't planning on doing this live stream. It's just something that I figured, since I already made a promise that I was gonna do it, I was like, might as well do it. But tomorrow I'm gonna make it more interesting, because tomorrow I'm gonna position my what you call it, my GoPro Hero 6 camera. Maybe I can do it right. Hold on a second. Let me see something. Alright, let's turn this other light here. I have this this other light which is right over here. Maybe, just maybe, there's something I can do here that could maybe work. Alright, so I don't know if it's gonna work or not. I thought about maybe positioning my camera like right here, and then just like showing it to you guys like this, you know, how am I moving it and all that with the sensor, but it would be better for the racing wheel. So yeah, not gonna do that. Isaiah Thompson, man, welcome to the chat, and welcome to this. Should we do like should we make this more interesting? Should we do this with a Solid Snake? How about Solid Snake is driving a... How about Solid Snake playing a Gran Turismo Sport? How about that? Let's do that. Shall we? Let's do it. Alright, Colonel. How do I play this? I never played the Gran Turismo Sport. Let's see. Alright. What do I do here? Otacon. You're much nerdier with this stuff. Alright. No, Naomi, I wasn't asking you. I was asking Otacon. So, I click start. Alright. So this is how I... Alright, this should be interesting. Well, this seems to be a lot of fun. Wow. This is way better than scuba diving. So what do you call this car? A Metal Gear car? Or is it Toyota car? Toyota car. So, what questions do you have for Snake? No, I'm not the real David. Obviously. The real David hates me. I don't know if he's gonna be happy to see me at the Tampa Comic-Con. I'd say, hey, why are you stealing my voice? This is not cool. How could you do this? Who are you? You're not a liquid. And I'm gonna tell him, no, I'm not. I am Wycliffe. Oh shit. Alright, screw it. I need to get my score. Yes. I need to get my score. My liquid ghost. See what you see over there is my liquid ghost. Naomi, I hope you're watching this. Just so you know how good of a racer I am. Not only am I sneaky, but I'm also sneaky behind you. Oh man. Someone asked me the other day, is it possible that you can do maybe an entire Metal Gear one game or Solid Snake person? I could do it, but it would take a lot of energy out of me. It would take a lot of energy out of me. That would be something I would do only if I had like, I don't know, like the case of Red Bull. Yeah, I would need like a case of Red Bull just to keep me energized. Hopefully I don't have a heart attack while doing so. And other people ask me how I was able to mimic this David Hayter voice. Well, it didn't happen overnight. This is something that I've been, ever since the game came out in 1995. When the original game came out, what was it, 1998? I thought it was a Kurt Russell. Snake Plissken. I thought it was like a Kurt Russell voice. So I was like, holy shit, Kurt Russell's doing a voiceover for the game. I didn't know who David Hayter was. But then later on I find out he really is, that he's also a writer, director, producer, was an actor, voiceover. So I've been constantly playing a bunch of Metal Gear games. You can tell I'm a huge fan. And I played every single Metal Gear game, including the PSP ones, PlayStation Vita ones. I played all of them. So when you play a lot of Metal Gear for all these years, that voice is going to be in your head. So I was always trying to mimic his voice. Like, how do I do it? Does it sound like this? Or do I need to lower my voice cords? Like this, Colonel. And then you have to move your Adam's apple to go up and down a little bit, and then finally you get that voice that he's got. Naomi, no, it can't be. Alright, let me look at my my comment section. Look, guys, it ain't easy doing a voiceover or trying to mimic something. It takes a lot of energy, alright? But once you definitely get to it, once you definitely use your vocal cords, and you can it's kind of like Equalizer. You're equalizing your vocal cords, Colonel. It's kind of like that. So, and that's how you do it. You practice like that. Thank you, Affinity Halo. Thank you. I appreciate that. I believe I didn't have a mustache, did I? In the Guns of Patriots, I believe I had a mustache. But it's more than just a mustache. It keeps growing and growing, as you can see it here. Let's see. Snake. Александр, как тебя зовут? Как дела? Как дела, Александр? Меня зовут Big Boss. Как тебя зовут, Alexander? My Russian, I used to know it, but it's kind of slipping away. I can count in Russian if you want me to. I can count like 1, 12, 13, 40. And my favorite word in Ruski is durak. You durak. You're such a durak. Alright, let me read some more comments. We still have some salty fishes. Salty crocodiles been trying to get in, but I was able to eliminate these crocodiles. There's always a few salty crocodiles trying to get in the water. So, but luckily I've been fishing long enough, so I can deal with the salty water. Crocodiles might. Been dealing with the crocodiles might the long time. Vendetta Project. Hey, Mr. Bronson, how are you doing? Hope fine. I'm doing good. How you doing, Vendetta Project X? How are you? Yeah, Mr. Bronson. I'm trying to, my British accent is like, hello, hello. Come on. Would you love to have a cup of tea? I didn't think of it that way. No, it's too low. You gotta do it like, come on, mate. That's more like a Australian. But I need to watch more of what's his name, Bronson. Not the Tom Hardy Bronson, but the original Bronson, the original Charlie Bronson. There's a footage of him. There's some videos, and he has this really like a gangster street roughnecks from London, really badassery, accent, you know, like, what you been talking to me, boy? Or something like that. Like, it's like he's got that like really really rough. And Tom Hardy did a good job. I mean, come on, let's face it, he did a great job. But Bronson, I would have to watch more of his videos to get that mimicky, voiceover, you know. Oh, it's a good lad. He's a good lad. Like I need to like get to like I need to watch more of his stuff. I'm on the VR kick lately. Yeah, but see, I try to mix it up, man. What I try to do, I try to mix it up a little bit of both. I gave you guys the projector. Projectors are coming with a Saving Private Ryan tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Friday. I'll be doing Saving Private Ryan projector versus the 55, 65-inch television. And why do I believe the projector is the best way for you to experience such a big movie like that with so many things happening? Saving Private Ryan, that movie on the Omaha Beach, D-Day landing, which was shot in England or Ireland, I think, Northern England, I think. That's where they shot the movie. And when they landed on that beach, man, there were so many things happening. They had a bunch of units of directors and crews, including Spielberg, who was obviously coordinating the whole thing. But they had so much stuff happening in that movie. Like, if you don't pay attention to Captain Miller and you pay attention to the other soldiers, you'll see what's going on. You'll see somebody's leg being blown off, the bullets going, ricocheting, hitting him. You'll see all sorts of things happening. You'll see exactly where the bullet lands and where it ricochets. You'll see where the explosion happens and how the detonation of the explosion affects the soldier. I mean, if you really pay attention when you're watching that movie from the beginning, that 25 minutes of D-Day landing, you will see so much accuracy. But I think the best way for you to experience that accuracy of what the Spielberg was trying to bring on that movie in 1998 is on a big screen. And 155-inch 4K HDR projector, it's definitely the best way to go. Now, since we're talking about a projector, a lot of people have been asking me, hey dude, I'm confused. And I'm going to answer this question because I know this question's been asked and asked and asked. And I was going to do the video on it, but somebody else already did a video on it. Okay. BenQ HD 2550, it's 2200 lumens bright emitting light from that lamp. There's a new one that's a 800 model from the BenQ. It's exactly the same technology. It's exactly the same chip. Exactly the same pixel shifter. Exactly the same HDR. However, it has a brighter lumens light. Now, I want you to understand a couple of things. And this is where people get confused with the projectors, especially with the BenQ. There's two models, and they're both exactly the same price. Why that is? This one has a higher lumens brightness. This one has only 2200. But you have to remember this. That brightness, they're not looking at that brightness as what they're looking at it in peak brightness on a TV panel. Projectors works differently than the TV panel. On a TV panel, they're measuring that peak brightness for the HDR. All right. On the projectors, especially DLP projectors, works differently. All right. So you have this wheel that's turning on the lens like this, that it's turning on a DLP. And what that DLP wheel does, it reproduces that color that goes above Rec 709 BT 2020. Gives you that representation of that color gamut, okay, which is necessary for the HDR. All right. However, the sacrifice they made on the 800, or was it the 800 model? That's about exactly the same price on that projector. What they did, they had to sacrifice a higher lumens brightness for the reduction of that wheel that's reproducing that Rec 709 and BT 2020 color palette. So basically, what you're losing on that new BenQ 4K HDR projector, the 800 series, you are losing more of that color, but you're getting a higher peak brightness of that lumens light. Meaning, if you are watching a projector in a lit up room, or if you're watching a projector somewhere where there's more lights around the theater, you will have a brighter picture, but you're going to lose that color. HD 2550, it's balanced. The reason they use 2200 lumens, because they figure the projector is going to be placed inside a movie theater with the lights off. So therefore, 2200 lumens brightness, it's more than enough for you to have that balanced HDR with that color palette. And the BenQ definitely has that nice color palette. I might be butchering it here for you guys. I might have to do a video on that to explain to you the difference between these two models, because they're exactly priced the same. All right, well, let me explain to you this way. One of the models that with a 3000 lumens light brightness, it's used for a environment that's brighter, that has more light. The HD 2550, it's used for a theater dark room where you can get that nice representation of color. That's necessary for HDR. I would rather have that representation of color than to have my white bright digital levels overblown and lose the color palette. So hopefully this kind of makes sense to you. And I know that all this technical jargon, it's really hard for me to explain unless I can visually show it to you, you know. Yeah, the color wheel. Yes, Vendetta Project, that color wheel. So you're sacrificing on that color wheel. Thank you, Vendetta Project. So you're sacrificing on that color wheel with this higher lumens brightness of that lamp. Yes, if you're going to be watching in the backyard, or if you're going to be watching it in a very lit up room, watching it's ideal for sports. If you're watching your favorite sports game and people, you know, they want to have the lights on so they can grab the beer, whatever, you know, grab the drinks and food, snacks, what have you, right? So that 800 model is for that. The HD 2550, it's ideal for the movie theater, because you're going to be watching movies in the dark. You're going to dim down the lights, you're going to turn off the lights when you're watching the movies, but you're going to have a better representation of that Rec 709 color palette, which to me, color palette is the most important thing in the HDR. Next to the peak brightness. We can all agree on that, right? That's why they're exactly the same price. So now you know, but they're both 1500. They're both 1500. Why they're 1500? Well, that's why they're both $1,500. Okay? They're just giving you a different variety. They're giving you a different choice, all right? For different environment purposes. So if you don't care about using your projector for the outside and you just want to keep it in the movie theater inside where it's dark, then you can use it for the movie theater inside where it's dark. And I think the ideal one for you to get is HD 2550. Me personally, I think HD 2550, it's the best that you can get for the money. The BenQ projector, and you will see when I do Saving Private Ryan comparisons, and when I show you some scenes, when I show you some of my picture settings that I used on the BenQ HD 2550, you will see just how beautiful that thing looks. All right. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully this kind of clarifies something. All right, let's continue. Let's exit this. Let's see how much I have collected here. Yeah, Ralph Perez, BenQ has always been a good company overall, man. They definitely do a great job reproducing the color. If you want a monitor that has a really good color, if you want a projector that has a really good color, BenQ is going to give you that color, man, and for a really good price. Like that BenQ 4K HDR monitor, dude, it blows away that LG out of the water. Okay, it's just better, man, and that's definitely going to be my next monitor. It has 1 millisecond response time, it has 4K, it has HDR, it's a 10-bit color, 10-bit monitor. for $450. Come on. If you can find me something cheaper for $450, that's a 10-bit monitor, that has a 1 millisecond response time, that has a FreeSync, that has a HDR built into it, good luck. You ain't gonna find it for $450. It's just not gonna find it. So BenQ, it's always a, like I said, if I was going to be sponsored by somebody, let's say hypothetically, I'm not saying I will, let's say hypothetically that I was being sponsored by somebody, I would easily go with BenQ. Easily. But it's just me. Now, of course, it would be nice if Sony would sponsor me. Oops, did I just say that? Yeah, it would be nice if Sony sends me a Z9D. Here you go, can you do a review on Z9D? That'd be great. I'd be more than happy to give you my, you know, my honest opinions. Alright, let's do this, man. Let's step into the VR. We're gonna do some let's do just the VR drive. We're gonna go and Mount Panorama Circuit. This seems like a lot of fun. And let's choose a different car. Let's see what we got here. You know what? I never driven this. Hold on a second. This project RC213V. I never driven this. Let's try this. This Honda seems like very interesting though. So go ahead, you guys, write your comments on the chat room, and I'm gonna get to your comments later. All right. Oh shit, this is cool. Oh my god. Dude, this is so much fun. Oh shit. Oh my god. This is one of my favorite cars right now. You really feel like you're on that surface. This is so cool, dude. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Fuck. I gotta get my racing wheel tomorrow, dude. I have to hook it up. I'm gonna hook up my racing wheel tomorrow, and I'm gonna plug in my Thrustmaster T150. I'm gonna plug it in and position my camera directly, my GoPro Hero 6 camera. I'm gonna position it directly facing the racing wheel so you guys can see the racing wheel while we are driving. Oh. Oh. Oh, oh, shit. Look, there's a helicopter. Oh my god. Trust me, you guys need to try this car. This car is so much fun. It really feels great. Does anybody have any idea what's going on with the Ace Combat? That Ace Combat VR? because I'm really curious. I asked, what's his name, PlayStation VR Frank. He doesn't have any idea. He says maybe we'll see something when he gets I don't know if you guys know anything about it. Hopefully the game's not gonna get delayed again. Hopefully they release the game. So much fun. By the way, I'm not like competing here. It's just like me driving around. Let's see what you guys do. Double checking, making sure. By the way, you guys can switch to a 720p 60. If you switch to a 720p 60, you will just see how smooth this is, man. In terms of VR. I personally think PlayStation VR, here's what I think. Because you do guys ask me all sorts of different questions. Besides the 4K. And look, mainly I'm focused on 4K. That's what my channel really is focused on. I get that. But people do ask me about the VR. They do ask me about the HTC Vive, Oculus, PlayStation VR. Windows Mixed Reality. Which one should I go with, sir? Where should I spend my money? Here's what I can do. All of them are good, but they all play a different purpose. Some of them are more expensive than the others, and some are cheaper than the others. Now you gotta look at your ecosystem. You gotta say, well, wait a minute. Do I have a powerful enough PC to run HTC, which is ridiculously expensive, and honestly, it's not worth that much. It's too expensive. The prices on the HTC Vive are just ridiculous, especially HTC Vive. I don't think it's worth that much. Then you look at Oculus Rift. Oculus Rift is a reasonable price range, $400. If you get it on sale for maybe $350, it's a reasonable entry-level approach for the VR. But then you gotta ask yourself again, I'm gonna be cashing out $400, but I don't know if I have a powerful enough PC. So you gotta ask yourself that. Now, if you're somebody that already has a PlayStation 4, and I assume a bunch of people have PlayStation 4, especially PlayStation 4 Pro, the PlayStation VR, it's the most ideal choice, in my opinion. I don't think there should be any hesitation for you to purchase a PlayStation VR, considering just the amount of games they have available on this thing, and the fact that it's a really good VR headset. It's very comfortable. It really has a nice motion tracking from the eye camera, PlayStation eye camera. But let's say you're just some regular dude that doesn't have any console. It just has a TV and has its iPad, and that's about it. It has a Roku, watches Netflix and Amazon, and that's it. If you're one of those types of dudes, let's say that, or types of guys, and you don't care about the consoles, you don't have a console, you have a kind of semi-decent PC, but you mainly use your tablet for everything, then for you, my friend, Oculus Go, it's definitely a go. Then for you, Oculus Go. Okay? Because you're not required with Oculus Go to have any type of a computer to be connected next to you and tethered next to you. Alright? So for you, the Oculus Go would be the most ideal choice. So what does this all mean? You're going to say, but you haven't answered my questions, you know, like which one should I go with? But that depends on you, like I said. It really depends on what is it you're looking for. You know, the easiest choice the two easiest choices I can recommend. If you have a PlayStation 4, no-brainer, PlayStation VR. If you have a good, decent PC with an i5 processor and 1070 or 1060, Oculus Rift will get the job done. But HTC Vive is just, it is good. Here's the thing. HTC Vive, it's the best VR experience. But it's a very expensive VR experience. And it's a pain in the ass. The amount of cables you have to drag on and connect, and you have to have your PC next to you. You have to have a room scale. You have to have extra room to do so. There's just too much of a hassle by having a HTC Vive. But long and behold, HTC Vive will give you that best possible VR experience at the moment. But I cannot recommend it due to the fact that it's expensive. And it's just ridiculously expensive. Can I level up here? Are we going to level up or what? I'm still level 14. Oh well. Let me check my chat. Ralph Perez, do I get dizzy on the VR headsets? Depends on the game, honestly. Depends on what I'm playing. If I'm playing something like X-Plane 11, if I'm playing X-Plane 11 on the HTC Vive, yeah, I'll get nauseous, especially if I'm flying a really fast airplane, you know, like F-22 or something like that. Or if I'm flying something like a F-16, you can download these, you can purchase these airplanes on the X-Plane 11 and you can try them out. They're a bit pricey, but you can get them. So yeah, it depends, you know. You do get nauseous, you know. But the X-Plane 11 does it for me so well, because X-Plane 11, it's so realistic, honestly. The physics and everything, the way the airplane reacts and the way you are flying inside of it, it really feels like you are really inside the airplane. The X-Plane 11 is the most immersive experience that I had so far. To me personally. But yeah, you can get dizzy. You can get dizzy, sure, for sure. Okay, let's do this one more time. Let's do it. I love this track, and I love this Mount Panorama motor racing circuit. It's my favorite, honestly. I love it. Let's do it. This is just too much fun. Too much fun. So yeah, guys, on Friday we're gonna do some we'll do some Saving Private Ryan tests. We're gonna compare both Dolby Vision from the Apple 4K TV version, and we're gonna compare it to a projector 4K HDR version. And I'm gonna kind of explain to you the difference between, you know, watching something like Saving Private Ryan on a projector versus watching it on 55 or 65 inch. I mean, you're still gonna have that nice immersion and everything that the movie offers, but with a projector, especially with a 155-inch projector, you don't even see the black bars. You just see the big giant 155 diagonal screen filled with all the action and all that stuff. And considering that this is a Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray version with a higher bit rate, that means that I will be able to see all that detail with HDR much better and much more. I'll be able to see every bullet hitting the wall, ricocheting, explosions, and all that shit. So we're gonna do that on Friday, And today I think I did a video. Yes, today I did a video where I was comparing what was it, streaming media versus a physical media. And this debate's been kind of ongoing. And you guys know how I feel. I personally like a physical media better than streaming media because I like the ability to, you know, grab my disc and have a feeling that I own that. Like I own it at this point. I don't care if I have an internet connection, if I don't have an internet connection. I can move out in the country and build a generator or whatever. Just buy a generator and just like, be out there in the woods somewhere and watch the movies. With the streaming, you're limited. Okay, you don't really have a physical copy of that movie. It's sitting somewhere in a cloud somewhere. Now, the benefit of today's day and age of having something stored into the cloud is the fact that you can take your little device. When you travel, when you go to the cities, different countries, they all have internet. You just plug it in and you're good to go. And you can watch those movies. You can take them with you. But you're going to be dependent on the internet and you're going to be dependent on that server. Let's say something happens to that server. Let's say Apple loses a license. The contract license has expired between Paramount and Apple doesn't carry that movie anymore. And you bought that movie, Saving Private Ryan, but you don't have it anymore because they don't have the license anymore to keep that movie on that cloud. So what are you going to do now? Now you're screwed. While me, on the other hand, I can watch that movie anywhere, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, whatever. I own it. So there's something about physical media. Same goes for the music. Yes, it is cool that you can get connected to iTunes or Spotify and get your music and everything, but you're dependent on it. Yes, you can download it offline, you can store it on a hard drive, I get it, but you still have to be connected offline to their server just so that way they can register that you are you and that you're not some guy trying to hack it. So again, you know, this is why the LP records are coming. And they're coming big because people like owning the physical media. Why do you think the LP records are? They're huge in sales. Everyone's like releasing their LP records, all of their albums. Metallica re-released all of their LP vinyls records. LP's coming back in a big way. And we're talking ancient technology, LP records. But they're coming back. You know why they're coming back? Because people like the ability to own, to have a possession of something that's, okay? Like when I got this game, I bought it. I'm always going to be able to buy it because I have it on a physical media disc. So that's the one thing that, to me personally, nothing will ever change physical media. And I'm not against streaming. I do use both. I use streaming and I use physical media disc. But you guys know where I stand. Physical media disc. Number one choice. Second choice, it's alternative. It's streaming. It's a convenience, so I don't have to carry a big giant bag, 511 bag with bunch of movies stacked up with a 4K player, right? But that's where the streaming devices come in. So that's how I feel about that. You know, I don't know how you guys feel about that. Everybody's got a different point of view on that, so I don't know. All right, man. I'm gonna level up here, dude. Let me see what I got. Oh, I got a long way to go. Let's see if we can. Let's exit. And let's see if we can change a different venue here. Oh, this should be interesting. Here we go. I like this car, man. It's so much fun. Okay, another question people have been asking me since we're doing this. I don't know why this question is being asked of me. How do you feel about the other YouTubers? How do you feel about the other 4K channels? I do watch them from time to time, you know. Look, they have their own opinions, they have their own views, and that's what it is, you know. Doesn't mean that I necessarily agree with all of them. Some of them I do, some of them I don't, but that's what makes it so unique, is they have their own input. They give you their ideas and how they feel about the product, what are their views on it. So, I mean, there's a bunch of cool 4K tech channels out there, and I'm kind of happy to see that how much the 4K community has grown. I mean, really, when I first started, it was like 2 years ago. I swear to God. Was it 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago. When I started 2 years ago, there was like, you barely you find anybody talking about it. I mean, there were some channels, techie channels, mentioning the 4K. 4K is around the corner, maybe, we'll see. But it's kind of expensive. But there was no, like, a full-time, like, 4K channels talking about 4K intensively. They didn't, like, exist back then. And some people are saying that I have, quote unquote, which is ridiculous. Some people are saying, quote unquote, I have influenced this whole 4K movement. Well, thank you, but I disagree. I didn't influence it. You know what influenced the 4K? The Microsoft influenced the 4K with their ability to give people a easy access to HDR gaming and 4K with a very affordable console called the Xbox One S. And it all kind of started with the Xbox One S because people like the idea, hey, I don't have to spend $400 or $500 on a Samsung standalone 4K player, which I still have. It's not worth that much anymore. I would like to have the ability to buy a console that offers both upscaling with high dynamic range and gives me a 4K player built into it. Now, I might have influenced a little bit so that other people would follow in my step and do the 4K thing. And I'm not gonna name any names, but you guys know who they are. And it's cool. I'm happy that I see more and more people being influenced to do this, to do the reviews, to do the tech, to do all of this stuff about the 4K and talk about the 4K. I'm kind of happy about that, you know. And I think it's great. I think it's awesome that the 4K community has grown in 2 years. I mean, there's so many channels. You type in the 4K, you're gonna see so many channels. But if you type 4K, most likely you'll bump into my videos first. I'm not bragging, I'm just being honest. Because I got over 2.6 thousand, close to 3,000 videos. They're sitting on that algorithm. And you're gonna see them right next to Digital Trends, right next to the CNET, right next to all the other YouTubers out there. You're gonna see them. Now, I'm not bragging. I'm just simply answering the question. We'll say, "Oh, you're trying to brag?" No, I'm not bragging. I'm not bragging about anything because I have achieved what I needed to achieve in terms of what I have achieved, in terms of 3,000 videos that I have, and in just less than 3 months I hit 3,000, 4,000 subscribers since my 20,000 subscribers in February. So within 3 months I was able to hit 4,000 subscribers. That's pretty quick, it's pretty fast, growing. So, no, I don't think I had any, like, influence on 4K market. I did have a little bit of influence on the Microsoft end. I'm sure my videos helped. All of those Xbox One S videos generated close to 10 million views. That's a lot of people. And that's a lot of consumers. They're going to be influenced to purchase that console. So did I help Microsoft a little bit? Yeah, a little bit. I'm sure I did. A little bit. Yeah. And I'm sure they know I did. A little bit. So you're welcome, Microsoft. And I have those videos to prove it. You know, everything I say here, you guys can go check it, look it up, all my videos. I mean, if you have time, if you really have time. We're talking 3,000 videos. That's a lot of freaking videos in less than 2 years. You find me a YouTube channel that has more videos than that, I'll find you an alien with a glowing dildo. Okay. So, hopefully that answer satisfies your question. Because I do look at these forums, I do go to my PlayStation, I do go to my Xbox, and I do look at these questions. You know, and I do pick these questions very carefully. Because I'm not here to stir anything. I'm just here to answer those questions. I don't know. What are your thoughts? What do you think, Ralph Perez? You think I did all right? All by myself? 2 years? What do you think? My brother from Tampa. Thank you, Ziggy man. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ralph Perez. I know it's midnight almost, and I know you gotta go. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you stopping by. Tomorrow you should stop by. Tomorrow night we're gonna do some. I don't know, honestly. We'll see. I might do some live stream tomorrow night. What I'm gonna do, I don't know. We might do some more of State of Decay, or I don't know. You guys want to do God of War? If you guys, but I don't want to spoil God of War. I mean, people have been begging me, please do a God of War. Do a God of War. Do a God of War with a Solid Snake voiceover. I would never do that to Kratos. I would never do that. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Check my community posts, and I'll keep you posted, like what type of game I'm gonna do tomorrow night. But Friday, it's gonna be interesting because Friday I'm gonna do a comparison on Dolby Vision 4K, Apple 4K Saving Private Ryan versus the 4K UHD physical media disc comparison. So we're gonna compare those two with a bunch of TVs, and of course my projector that I have in my other room, which is 155 inches. It's gigantic, man. So let's finish this one race, and I'm gonna call it quits too. It's a short stream. I wasn't planning on doing this live stream that long, but what was it? 1 hour and 1 hour and a half. That's a pretty good stream, I think. You see, I always keep my promise. So let's do this race, shall we? Let's have some fun. Okay, you guys should definitely switch to 720p 60 if you can, and it's gonna look much better on 720p 60. Here we go. Believe me, it's gonna look better. It's gonna look better. Here we go. was gonna say something interesting. I was like so totally trying to avoid that corner. Obviously, with the racing wheel, this is the best way to experience it. It just didn't feel like putting my racing wheel together. But I might do it in the future. So yes, guys, if since we are talking about the VR here and the subject here is the VR, yes, there's a variety of options. It's something for everyone. So many variety of different VR headsets. It's ridiculous. But if you're somebody that already has a PlayStation 4 and your PC is kind of like just for the browsing and digital media, whatever, and it's not powerful enough, listen, PlayStation VR, it's more than enough experience for you. You're not gonna be disappointed with PlayStation VR. You're definitely going to have a great experience. Not to mention if you buy a Farpoint with Farpoint with that aim controller, it's like night and day. Or if you get Team Bravo with that aim controller, which I have streamed, it's much better. And in this game you can play with a racing wheel, Thrustmaster. So if you have a PlayStation 4, this is no-brainer. It's definitely the best choice. PlayStation VR. Since I'm saying this, you can ask PlayStation VR Frank, and he'll tell you. And PlayStation VR Frank, he owns every VR headset. Kind of like me, he's got all of them. And he'll tell you the same. PlayStation VR. You can go. If you never experienced, let's say you're a virgin VR, you never experienced VR, for you this will be like, holy crap. Trust me, you're gonna love it. And if you are somebody who doesn't have a console, which would be shocking that you don't have a console, I'm just saying, well, let's say you're one of those that don't have a console, has a decent PC, nothing too shabby, and you mainly use it for editing, whatever, but your main source is your iPad 12. You take your iPad 12, you use your iPad 12. You're one of those dudes, right? Then for you, my friend, Oculus Go, it's definitely a thing. That's what I would recommend. You say, Oculus Go, brother. You know, there's another question that was asked of me the other day, which I'm going to answer since people, you know, there's a lot of misinformation about me out there. And I laugh my ass off. People ask me, how did you afford all of these things? How did you afford all this stuff? How did you do it? Well, first of all, as you all know, this is not my main job. I do have my main job. Pretty much I work 3 jobs. I have 2 different jobs during the week, weekdays, and then the weekend. And then I do this, which I consider like a 3rd job. So I work hard, but I'm very careful how I spend my money, and I don't buy everything at once. I wait for the good deal, take my time, and then I purchase it. It becomes a good deal for me. And I don't buy everything at once. I didn't buy Nintendo Switch when it originally came out. I bought Nintendo Switch, what, 7 months after it was released, or more. It was 8 months after it was released. So, yeah. You have to kind of have some kind of strategy. All right, you should plan. Okay, I want to buy. Okay, let's say you want to buy Xbox One. Currently, you have a PlayStation 4 Pro, and you're happy with PlayStation 4 Pro. You really don't want to trade in your PlayStation 4 Pro. Don't trade it in. Keep it. Save some money. You already have a console. You have a pretty good console. You got plenty of games to play on it. Wait, put some money aside, and then in August, you buy the Xbox One X. You put some money aside. Whether it's $50, $60, I don't care. Whatever you can afford. So if it takes you till September, so it takes you till September. But in September, you're going to save enough money, and you're going to buy the Xbox One X. And you're going to play Crackdown 3, State of Decay 2, and all these other games. That's how you buy stuff. You plan. Long term, ahead of time. You're planning on, okay, I'm okay with this right now. In the future, I'm going to put some money aside. I'm going to buy that. But the problem with people is they want everything at once. They have this appetite, and they see something, especially on some guy on a YouTube that's sponsored, that didn't even pay a freaking dime. And they get so appetite. They have this huge appetite when they see somebody do that, do these unboxings. And they want to have that. They want to buy that. Well, if you do that, man, you're gonna be bankrupt, dude. You can't do that. You have to plan ahead of time on what you want to do. People don't just go out and buy a house. They spend their time looking at different mortgage brokers, loans, deals. All of these things takes time, guys. Nothing happens overnight. But you got to have a clear vision where you want to go. If you don't have a clear vision and you're just spending money like a maniac, irresponsible maniac, well, you're never going to get anywhere. It's a discipline. You have to discipline yourself. That's how you get to where you are. That's how you buy what you want to buy. All right, let me look at the comment section. All right, Blaze. What's up, Kevin Garcia, bro? How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Sure, Blaze. You can explain it to me, but something tells me, since you're using the caps, something tells me, like, I might not like it. But let's hear it anyway. Why are you using the caps? You don't have to shout. I can read you loud and clear without the caps, man. Something tells me that you want my attention. But I'll probably disappoint you, because my answer most likely will be no. But let's hear your ideas. Let's hear it. Okay, let's hear your idea, bro. What idea do you have? Nah, he's gone. Ziggy King, thank you, man. All right, let's do one more race, and that's gonna be it, man. That's all she wrote. 1 hour and 33 minutes. It's pretty good live stream. All right, let's see. Let's try this. Oh, you're talking about the... Yes, but here's what you don't understand. Here's the thing. I know exactly... Okay, let me explain this for my subscribers, in case they don't know what I'm talking. They don't know what he's talking about. But I'll explain to you what he's talking about. He's talking about this new 4K external card that you put on your desktop, your workstation, your desktop PC. It does require, you know, a lot of power. It does require a GPU, a very high-end GPU, and very high-end CPU, which I do have. It is good for capturing 4K footage, and this is something that Digital Foundry it's using. Digital Foundry is using this in England. They have a PC with this capture card. Here's the problem with that, Blaze. I would do it. I would use that external capture card. But the problem is the videos would be very short. I would have to edit all those videos. They would be very short because I wouldn't be able to do more than maybe 8 minutes, tops maybe 9 minutes, and upload those videos, you know. But, you know, that's something I'll definitely consider. You know, Blaze, that stuff you're already telling me, that's something that I already kind of have planned sometime this year. You know, I'm planning on getting that external card, and I'm planning on putting it into my Alienware desktop, shoving it in there, and then doing some comparison videos and editing, putting them together, and then showing you guys the difference between, you know, PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X and stuff like that. I am thinking about that. There's no question about that. I've thought about that, Blaze. So it's a good idea. That's a good idea. I have thought about it, and I'm kind of working on it. I got some other ideas as to what I want to do in the future, but the thing is, I don't want to talk about it till I actually get there. I want to see how things are going to develop, and then I want to see where I go from there. But yes, absolutely, man. That's something that I'm looking forward to. I also thought about getting some calibrating equipment. I thought about getting a software to read the resolution on the video games. I might have to get a splitter from Elgato and the software from Elgato that connects through my GPU, and then I can measure the frame rate. I can measure what type of resolution it's being scaled. Is it dynamic? Is it a checkerboard? Or is it native? What type of source resolution is being outputted? And what type of frame rate it's being, you know, rendered with. So I thought about all that. I do have that down the pipeline. I am looking forward to that. But that's something that's coming. That's something that I'm looking forward to doing in the future, for sure. And I'm also looking forward to do some giveaways. When I hit 50,000, 50K, as you guys all know, I have a bunch of stuff to give away. So when I do hit 50K, there will be giveaways. I will announce it and how's it gonna work, and I'll pay for the shipping. You guys don't have to do. You'll just have to accept it, and then, you know, it will arrive at your door. But I'm planning on doing that once I hit 50,000 subscribers. Once I hit the 50K, we'll do some giveaways for sure. There will be giveaways. Well, cool, Blaze. You know what? Then we'll keep in touch, definitely. Yeah. Like I said, you can join me on the PlayStation, or you can join me on the community. You can go to my Facebook. I would definitely advise you to go to my Facebook link. If you go to my homepage and you click on my Facebook link, you can contact me there through a messenger, or you can contact me through a PlayStation network or Xbox network, or you can just contact me here through a community on YouTube. And absolutely, man, I would love to do that. I would love to do those videos and focus myself mainly on that kind of a comparison, and do the streaming as well. Thank you, Blaze. Yeah, I definitely thought about that, bro. So I'll definitely talk to you about that, for sure. When we're offline and all that, I'll talk to you about that. And, I would love to do the 4K stream, because I do have a very high-end broadband. I got a 1 gigabit connection, so for me, My upstream, it's about 32 gigabits, 32 gigabytes per second. So it's pretty fast. 32 gigabytes per second, it's pretty fast. But thank you. How's the PlayStation VR? I'm thinking about getting one. It's pretty good, but let me you know what, Michael Dubs, do me a favor. Why don't you select 720p 60? And I'll talk about it. I'm gonna tell you right now, Michael Dubs, as to why you should get PlayStation VR. And if you already have a PlayStation 4, which I assume you do, PlayStation VR is definitely a good choice. So let's select this track and let's do this. Click on a 720p 60. Switch to a 60. I don't know. Can you switch to a 60? Or hold on, let me see. Oh my God. Ah, damn it. I didn't allow the option for the 60. Oh no. Oh no. Hold on. Alright, let me just quickly end the stream and come back really quick. And do you guys want me to switch it to a 60 frames per second? Do you guys want me to do that really quick? I don't know if you guys want me to do that or not. It will take me maybe a couple of seconds. I could switch it back to a 60 frames per second. You're on your iPad. Can the gameplay show on your TV screen? Yes. Currently, I'm using my monitor, my 4K monitor right here. Let me show you. Hold on. See, currently, I'm using my LG monitor. And you can see it right here. Like you can see it right here, the way I'm seeing it. There's the LG right there. But yes, I mean, you can do it. All right, let me switch to 60 frames per second. I want to show you guys the immersion you're gonna see, because right now you're seeing 30 frames per second. You're not seeing that webcam. I know I need to do it, man. Oh, C920. I know, that's what I need to do, man. I need to get the C920, bro. Right now I'm using my GoPro Hero 6. So let me go ahead and let me switch to 60 frames per second. I'll be right back, guys. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna disappear offline for like 20 seconds, less than 20 seconds. And then I'm gonna come back online and we're gonna do a 60 frames per second, all right? 720p 60 fps, because I want you guys to see the immersion you get when you have something that's 60 frames per second. So just give me a few moments here. All right, guys, 1 second. Alright, so I have put it to 60. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Alright, here we go. 720p 60. So it should be much better. Alright, so we're back with 720p 60. And I should have done this earlier. I don't know why I didn't do it earlier. Okay, so now you guys gonna see what it's all about. Originally, here's what I really wanted to do. Originally, I wanted to do which I'm gonna do this in the future, where I'm gonna position my GoPro Hero 6 camera with a 60 frames per second facing my racing wheel, and then I'm gonna show you guys what I'm seeing on the screen with a 60 FPS. Anyway, without any further ado, let's jump into this, shall we? Let's do it. Alright. This will be a lot of fun. Here we go. And you're gonna see that immersion right now. So what you're seeing, what you're gonna be seeing right now, it's exactly what I'm seeing on this VR headset. So this is for, Blaze already knows about this, but this is for Michael Dubs. Michael Dubs, you know, he's interested in the VR. He would like to purchase a VR, PlayStation VR. So this is for him really to see what I'm seeing in my eyes, 60 FPS, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Trust me. You're gonna see a much better detail here. Here we go. You ready? Here we go. So you see, like, you get that much better presence of speed and motion movement. And the motion movement on this game, it's really good. I kid you not, guys. It's really good, and you definitely feel like you are there. So if you never tried VR, like this is your first time trying VR, I can guarantee you that this will be one of the best VR experiences that you can get on a console. Really is. Let's do it like this. Just trying to make a little motion Let's do a little U-turn. You see that, for example? Yeah. All right, let's do this again. Let's. Now with the racing wheel, this would be much better if I was using the racing wheel, which I'm gonna use maybe tomorrow or the next day. I'm gonna hook up my GoPro Hero 6 camera, hook it up on the upper front of my VR headset, so you guys can see. So you guys can see my racing wheel. I'll do that. And you really have that sense of field of view. You really feel like you're here. You definitely will do that. That's the beauty about the racing games. And racing games look the best on the 60 FPS. Now they do have a Doom. Doom really looks great on the virtual reality as well. I was pretty blown away by the Doom on PlayStation VR. It really looks great. I'm going to show you some more tracks. This is just one that I did randomly, but there's more tracks here. And it looks like. Let's do one more spin here. Alright, now let's exit. Let's try a different track. We're going to try a different track really quick. Let's exit. Does it make you feel dizzy? I'm getting to just watching King, you know what, King Midway, it never really bothered me that much. I was, you know, I was never afraid of heights. I was never really like, I could fly in a plane forever. It wouldn't bother me. I just never had that motion sickness. I just didn't have it. I don't know, maybe it's genetics, I don't know. Or what it is, but I never had that issue. I never had that problem. You know, I don't know why. I mean, I know that it's a serious problem for some people. You know, motion sickness can make you throw up, can make you feel dizzy. I'm aware of that, but I just personally never had that issue. Like, it was never an issue for me. I'm trying to find another good track here. Where was it? Mount Panorama Circuit. This is one of my favorites. Here we go. Let's do it. We'll do it in the morning. It should be a lot of fun. Let's do it. Here we go. This one's really good, man. You guys gonna dig this one. This one's like really good. Right here. This track, it's awesome. Here we go. And you'll see why I like this one. Especially in the morning, during the sunrise. I'm going to try to keep up with it. If I can. Obviously, I'm doing it wrong. I'm not using a racing wheel. No. Should have racing wheel hooked up. Got idiot. But as you can see, it's really immersive. And another game that will do this for you is the Drive Club. Drive Club VR will have the same feeling. Gran Turismo Sport, Drive Club VR, and Dirt Rally, those three games. It's a must-have choice for the VR. If you want to jump into VR, those three games will definitely do that for you. Now people are going to say, what about the HTC Vive? The HTC Vive, what it does, it makes this more fluid. Movements, because you got a much better room scale motion sensor. Alright. And also you got much brighter OLED screen with the lenses. They're kind of like, when you put the HTC Vive, the lenses are almost hitting your eyeballs. It's like they're really like inside. You really get to see that detail. But we're talking thousands of dollars. $1,000 to get the whole equipment. It's too expensive. Plus you're gonna need a very high-end piece. But what the PlayStation VR is doing here, it's pretty good for a $350. Alright, $300, $350 if you get a bundle with this game. What they're doing here, it's pretty darn good for a console. You know, it's not just me saying this. You can ask PlayStation VR Frank, he'll tell you the same thing. He feels the same way. But it really looks great. Sometimes if you're out of area, if you're out of focus, it's really important that you measure the distance between your PlayStation Eye and your VR headset. But this is going to change once the PlayStation VR 2 comes out with much better tracking, sensors and whatnot. It's going to be a much better experience. But so far, what PlayStation VR is doing is pretty darn good for the price. If you really want to experience VR gaming and you never experience it, PlayStation VR is definitely a great way to do it. You're not going to be disappointed. I'm purposely tailgating him. Oh. Collision. Oh. So hopefully this gives you some idea, some perspective of what it's doing. There's a lot of people been asking me. You cannot see it through a 30 frames per second. With 30 frames per second, you're not seeing what I'm seeing. With 60 FPS, you see exactly the motion that I'm seeing. The one game that's really going to make you motion sick, I think, is the Wipeout Mega VR. That one right there will definitely do it. Wipeout Mega VR. Hold on. Let me look at the chat room. So as you guys can see, it's... Hey, Reynold. Reynold, how you doing, man? Good to see you, bro. Well, we'll see, man. Blaze, you know, I'm open for, you know, collaborations, sure. But, you know, first I have to see, you know, my plans and what I want to do and all of that. But sure, we'll talk about it. You know where to find me, you know how to reach me and everything. So, absolutely. People ask me how come I haven't collaborated with the other YouTubers. Well, it's simply because none of them asked me. You know, no one approached me and asked me to do it. So if they never asked me, I'm not gonna beg. But yeah, I'm open for collaboration. It just depends on my plans, my future plans, and how I want to do it, and what you have, and what your ideas are. And I have done a shout out to a lot of YouTubers. I have helped a bunch of YouTubers. I gave a shout out even to the haters, the one that are hating me. I've done a shout out, but they failed to do so because they think that YouTube it's something that just happens magically and you grow magically without any hard work. It doesn't work that way. But yeah, I'm definitely open for suggestions, collaborations, and stuff like that. My only problem is, guys, is just the fact that I'm doing this by myself, and the fact that I work 2 jobs, including this. So for me, the time, it's one of those things that I'm always pressed with. Time for me, it's very precious, and as you all know, times fly by really quick, really fast, especially when you're busy, when you're doing other things. So to me, finding that time, it's one of the things that always kind of like I have to work on. But I always can squeeze time. I can always manage to multitask and find time to do things. Well, we'll see. You know, Blaze, like I said, we'll talk about it privately. You know, you can talk to me, you can reach me, you know, via Facebook Messenger, or you can reach me with my Gmail that I have here, or you can go via Twitter, you can reach me, or you can reach me via PlayStation, Xbox, or just simply talk to me via community on YouTube. So there's definitely many different ways you can approach me, and we can discuss this. But yeah, like I said, we'll see. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this race one more time, and then we're gonna call it quits, guys. I've been working all day long. It's already after midnight here in the East Coast. People think I'm in the West Coast, but yes, I've been to West Coast. That 3-hour difference always crazy, especially when you land at the airport. You're coming from the East Coast and you forgot, oh, it's a 3-hour difference. But yeah, man, Blaze, I'm open for many different types of suggestions. But like I said, you know, we'll talk about it. Contact Facebook Messenger. You can connect with me via Facebook Messenger and talk about it privately again. Work on some ideas. I could definitely use some help. Video editing, logos, and whatnot, and stuff like that. You know, somebody was telling me the other day, but have you look at like Lou from Unbox Therapy? I said, look, Lou from Unbox Therapy has a bunch of people working for him. He's got a huge staff working on. He's got a big studio and a huge staff that he hired. Interns that are working in the studio and they're helping him put all those videos together and everything. Same thing with the colleague. Has a crew, they have a crew that helps them out to get all these videos. And when you have people that have a crew that helps you put videos together, basically, then you're trying to do it yourself. It's too much work. It's too much hassle. Especially when you don't have the time. But yeah, Blaze, definitely hit me up, man. Hit me up on the Facebook Messenger. We'll talk about it tomorrow or the next day. Sure, I wouldn't mind collaborating, but I just need to talk to you privately about what ideas you have and stuff like that. I could definitely help your channel too, help it grow, give you a shout out, give you a little advertisement, quid pro quid, whatever, pro, something like that. Sure, I'm open for all of that stuff. Because I could definitely use some extra help, you know, videos. I just don't have time. People ask me, why don't you edit videos? If I was editing every single video, it would just take me forever. You guys would be waiting 2 weeks to see maybe a couple of videos. It would just take a long time to put everything together. Time. If you don't have time. So like I said, the Facebook is the best place to find it. Go to my YouTube homepage, and you click on that link. That's where you're gonna find it. Facebook, you can contact me in a messenger. I don't have, it doesn't say, you know, Mr. 4K Upscaler, but it's under something that's under Get to the Chopper. That's just some nickname I use. But you will see my photo, you will see my name announced there, and clearly it's going to say the real Mr. 4K Upscaler, so you know it's me. Also, you can contact me via Twitter. You can also hit me on community on YouTube. I mean, there's so many ways for you to get in touch with me, whether PlayStation Network or Xbox Live. There's so many ways. So we're almost gonna be done with this race. Almost. Let's do a spin here and let's end the race. Alright, so I'm gonna end it right here, guys. Get to the chopper. I know. Oh yeah, Unboxed Lou, he makes truckload of money, man. Him and Vitali, especially Lou, he's in Canada. I think Quebec, I'm not sure. I think somewhere out there in Montreal, Canada, something like that. I mean, look, the guy worked hard. You know, all of these guys, Linus Tech Tip, all of these cats, they worked really hard to get to where they are. And this is the problem with a lot of these salty haters. They don't understand how YouTube works. It takes a really long time for you to get to where they are. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of commitment, okay? And it's not something that just happens overnight. Sure, absolutely, man. Fortnite and 4K, I would love to do that, man. I would love to do a live stream together with you, do some, absolutely, bro. We can do all of this stuff, for sure. There you can see my racing wheel right there. You know what? Hold on a second. Before I end this live stream, I want to show you something. People have been asking me about this car. I said, please, please, we want this car. We want to see it in action. And I think the best way to see it in action is going to be here. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you which car I'm talking about. Don't worry. I'm going to show you exactly what car. This one, McLaren Ultimate VGT. This is the one everybody's been saying, man, I need to see this car. This thing, it's insanely fast. This thing is like brutally insane. And I figured let's end the live stream with this race. Should be a lot of fun. Just look at this. It's insane. Wait, just wait for it. This is insanity. God. Oh my God. Look, all of his blood rushes. That's how fast this is. I see. This car is it's a prototype. This shit, it's legal. Let's do that famous loop right here. There you go, fellas. That's all she was. I know it is like a spaceship. Wow, I did hit, wow, this, I can't believe it, man. This live stream has been like 2 hours and 10 minutes. Mario Gomez, the reason they say that is because they want to justify their purchase. Okay, and the best way to justify your purchase is to brag about it. I had OLED. I had 3 different types of OLEDs when they came. I had a first generation OLED, B6. I had a C6, and I had a second generation C7. Okay, and I tested them all. So I did like it in terms of quality. It had a nice picture quality, but it wasn't bright enough for me to give me that HDR greatness that I need. Okay? OLED, it's like your Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. It's just 55 inches bigger. It's what it is. Okay? Now, it has its sorts of... Here's my problem with the OLED. It wasn't so much the peak brightness. It had a decent enough peak brightness to give that picture quality in a dark rooms. And OLED was mainly for the movies. Francis Ford Coppola was advertising OLED with the LG. Ridley Scott was advertising the OLED with the LG. They were all advertising it because of the movies. Because you watch a movie in a dark room. You don't watch a movie in a bright room. Okay? To me, it wasn't really the peak brightness. I was okay with that 800 nits or 750 nits or whatever that it could squeeze maximum. That's the maximum peak. It doesn't mean it's always going to be at 700. It might be at 650. Okay? Most of the time it's 650 to 680. I didn't have an issue with that. It wasn't the peak brightness. If you watch my videos, it wasn't the peak brightness. My biggest issue is just how fragile that technology is. Not only is it expensive, not only is it expensive to fix, but at the same time, the warranty, it's brutally expensive as well. So that's a way too much money you're going to be spending on something that you don't know how long it's going to last you. But people who spend $3,000, they need to justify that $3,000 because it's a lot of money, and they will gladly say that it's the greatest TV ever. Now, I'm not saying that it's not a bad TV. It will give you a great picture quality. But is it worth it? With all the side effects that it has, with such a sensitive technology built inside, is it really worth it? That's the question you gotta ask. That's just how I feel. Well, Blaze, the OLED, honestly, I have tried it. It's like your phone. If you have a Samsung S8 Plus, it's like having a big giant 55 or 65 Samsung S8 Plus. That's what you have on your phone. It's the OLED technology on that S8 Plus, on that Note 8. It's like having a 55, 65 inch Note 8. It's what it is. Okay, and will give you the best picture perfect deep dark levels. All right, and the colors will be vibrant, but they're not going to be vibrant like they are on QLED or on a Samsung KS8000 or 9000, because they can't produce that peak brightness that's necessary to truly make that OLED looks great. But to me, you know, it wasn't even the peak brightness. It was the fact that the burn-in, retention on the screen, it's too much for me to swallow. If I'm gonna spend that kind of money on the OLED, fixing it up and doing all these crazy things, then I might as well save some money and buy Z90, right? Just might as well go with the Z90. Just stuck with the Z90, and Z90 is definitely the best TV you can buy. Z90 and Q9F, those two are from Samsung and Sony. Sony Z90, Samsung Q9F. Those two, They're the best. Period. Let's do one more race and then we're gonna call it quits, guys. I'm gonna catch some of these. Let me show you something else here. We're gonna go. We'll do it at night. We'll do it at night, and we're gonna choose something different, something like something like this. We're just gonna cruise around a little bit here. That's the Mercedes-Benz A45 AMG 4MATIC. Still pretty good, man. Still fast. So that's how I feel about the OLED, man. In general. I never said OLED's bad, and you guys can type in Mr. 4K Upscaler C7, B6, C6, and you will see I never said anything bad about the OLED. It's just that after so many reports, after so many people having issues with it, I just couldn't recommend it. It's just too sensitive. There's too many issues, too many problems. I just couldn't recommend it. Ooh, this is creepy, man. Driving at night. This is creepy. But it really feels like you're there. Like it's very dark. Pretty cool. But this is very difficult during a night. But the lightning is pretty good though. I like the way the light is reflecting the volumetric light inside the VR headset. And that's pretty much how it is in your car. You just see the dashboard lit up. You don't see that much of a great detail. It's like pitch black. Oh, it just crashed sadly. What is that, aliens? Is that UFOs? You can see the city in the distance out there. I like that. So yeah, if you guys are into VR, PlayStation VR is definitely a good choice. If you have a racing wheel, this is going to be a much better experience. If you buy like a really good racing wheel, I guarantee you this is the experience. But I think PlayStation VR 2 will change everything. I think that will be like the best successor of the VR. PlayStation 5 and PlayStation VR 2, I think we definitely got to step into something serious. Yeah. And here's the thing, guys. I don't bash Xbox. I have no problem with the Xbox. But I just feel that the Xbox is always missing those missed opportunities that Sony has. I always felt like that was their biggest weakness. They always miss They always have these missed opportunities. They miss the opportunity to grab something, to make some first party games really, really awesome. Another great VR game, racing. Let me give you three. If you are into racing and you want to get a PlayStation VR, let me give you three racing games for the VR that you must have. Number one, Gran Turismo Sport. Number two, Drive Club VR. And number three, Dirt Rally. Those three games will give you that amazing racing experience. For the PlayStation VR, that is. Now, if you are on the PC, I would say iRacing, internet racing, is the most immersive, competitive racing. There's no question about it. Or you can go with Project Cars 2. Project Cars 2, it's an unbelievably, oh my god, I use Project Cars 2 with my business. It is really good. I might do that. I might show you some high resolution of that. Try maybe do a live stream. My GoPro Hero 6 cameras overhead, facing the racing wheel. This video kind of sucked because I didn't do it properly, so I apologize. I totally understand if you guys hit a dislike. Totally get it. I would hit a dislike too because I kind of screwed it up here. I was too damn lazy to pull up my racing wheel, together, put the GoPro Hero 6 camera. Don't worry, we're gonna work on that. Oh shit. But hopefully this live stream will convince you to reconsider PlayStation VR. You gotta remember this truckload of PlayStation VR games. Not to forget to mention Skyrim. Bro, you got Skyrim 5 on the PlayStation VR. You got Resident Evil, you got Doom, you got Farpoint, Aim Control, you got Team Bravo, another tactical shooter game. So there's a lot of stuff. So there it is, guys. I got some points over here. It's gonna take a while to hit level 15. So that's it, guys. It's been what? It's been 2 hours and 22 minutes. What a long time. I didn't expect this live stream to go this far. 2 hours and 22 minutes. Well, 2 hours and a half. Let me see. I recently won. Yeah, Mario Gomez. It's just not worth it, man. I just even with warranty, it's just, bro, you're better off with something else. And OLED's gonna die, man. I hate to tell you, OLED's gonna be die. It's a dinosaur, man. It's not gonna survive. By 2020, 2021, it's not going to survive, guys. Something else will come along. Maybe micro LEDs or something better than micro LEDs. Or maybe something that's also similar to the OLED technology might come in. I don't know. But right now, currently, in this state, OLED is just, it's hard to recommend, man. There's too many issues, too much risk, and it's too expensive. Too expensive and too much risk. And you're gonna feel like shit when the thing breaks. You know that panic feeling that you have and you can't catch a breath? That panic feeling you will have is that you just spent $3,000 and your OLED TV broke. And you're gonna remember this live stream, you're gonna say, Mr. 4K told me so. Reynolds, I don't think so. Honestly, dude, my honest, I hope I'm wrong. I would love, listen, let me say this. I would love to see OLED succeed. Listen, There's no bigger lover, secret lover than me of OLED. You remember, this is a guy who owned a bunch of OLED TVs. There is no bigger fan of OLED than me. Forget all these other clowns. There's no bigger fan of OLEDs than me. I would love to see OLED succeed, but everything indicates that it's going through this other trajectory. Look, they're constantly trying. They're trying to fix this issue. They're trying to see if they can bump up their peak brightness, but they can't. The OLED light burns out. There's a retention in the screen. There is burn-in on the screen because the organic light emitting diodes, they cannot withstand such a high OLED peak brightness. And it's a very sensitive technology. The pixel cells can die easily if your kid hits it a little bit, or if your dog runs around, hits it with a tail, or if you by accident hit it or something. Bye-bye OLED. It's a very, very fragile technology, brother. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You know I had OLED. You know that I'm not shitting on it. But I gotta be honest with you. In my honest opinion. Hopefully this, look, nothing I say here will think you otherwise, but just remember, I told you so. You know, I'm not gonna name names. I have some friends that cried and bitch and moaned to me about their OLED and how it died quickly after a year. And they got another one, and now they're not bitching. But when it dies again, they're gonna bitch and moan again to me. And I'm just gonna be letting them know the same thing that I told them, and I'm telling you guys, I told you so. Sensitive technology, and it's not gonna last. Micro LED, it's gonna give you the same deep dark levels as the OLED, and micro LEDs will be able to sustain a higher peak brightness necessary for the HDR. With the micro LEDs, you're gonna have all three components. Picture perfect deep dark digital levels, picture perfect white bright digital levels, which is the peak brightness, and full white color gamut of 12-bit panel televisions with 8K resolution and Dolby Vision. You can't compete with that. That's coming. So the OLED cannot compete with that. That's coming. Down the pipe. 2020, 2021, 2.1 HDMI chipsets with a 12-bit televisions, 8K, micro LEDs. And when you see those micro LEDs, you're gonna shit on that OLED that you have. It's gonna be a joke. You can come back to this video 3 years from now, if I'm still alive, nothing, God forbid, nothing happens to me, whatever, I don't know, I don't have a magic crystal ball. But I'm saying, I'm looking at it from marketing business point of view and technological point of view. You know, they just can't figure out how to squeeze that peak brightness out of OLED, and they can't figure out how to reduce their retention and their burning. Just like the plasmas have died. It was just too hot. It was too warm. It was burning too quickly. Technology is technology, man. It keeps evolving. You only take that crown for a little bit, and then something else comes along. That's it, man. That's how it is. Well, there you go, Mario Gomez. You see? Alright guys, it's been about 2 hours and a half of this live stream. I really wasn't planning on doing this live stream this long. For some of you, you might be in Europe or I don't know, Madrid, Spain, or you might be in the West Coast, which would be 10 o'clock right now in the West Coast. But right here, I'm in the East Coast. It's 1 o'clock p.m. And if you're in London, probably it's what, 6 o'clock, something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream. It's been a lot of fun, man. I love talking to you guys. I like doing these things. Why am I looking down here? I should be looking at the camera. I should be looking at the camera. Like I should be looking here. I look like Sam Fisher, dude, with this fucking... what was it? This damn thing here. Like Sam Fisher, dude. So it's been a lot of fun, man. Like I said, hit me up, guys, on the Facebook, on the Twitter, on all of these links that I have on my homepage, on the YouTube. Connect with me. Definitely, Blaze. We'll keep in touch. You know, it would be awesome if you could help me out, you know, do some editing. But we'll talk about it, you know. We'll talk about it, different ideas, but we'll talk about that privately, you know. But for sure, definitely hit me up, guys. Tomorrow, I might do some live stream, but I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll let you guys know on my community, on the YouTube. On Friday, for sure, Saving Private Ryan, 155-inch projector from BenQ, test and picture settings will be done. And also the difference between a 155-inch projector of Saving Private Ryan being projected via 4K player and versus a Apple 4K TV version of HDR. So we'll do that comparison on Friday, which will be tomorrow, not today. Today is still Thursday. Tomorrow, Friday, which would be, I believe, the 11th Friday, right? All right, my ladies and gentlemen, thank you for stopping by, man. It's been a fun 2.5 hours. There you have it, guys. I'll see you. I'll see you soon. We'll keep in touch, as always. All right? Okay, okie doke. I think I mentioned everybody here. Hopefully I didn't forget anybody. Blaze, Ralph Perez, Vendetta, Project X, Kim Murray, Sean. Who else we got? Let me see. Affinity, Halo, Alexander, friend from Russia. Who else we got? Ziggy 7200. Thank you, brother. Kevin Garcia. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thanks for the love. And of course, Blaze, thank you for the love too. I appreciate it. We'll keep in touch. And Reynold, thank you, man. We'll get to the chopper now, for sure. Love you, man. Love you. I know you love when you stop, man. When you stop by. I love you having... I love you as a pal, stopping by. When you come to my channel, man, you always have some cool stuff to say and make something funny. I love that, bro. So, Reynold, cheers. And Blaze, of course, Blaze. We'll keep in touch, Blaze, for sure. All right, guys. Oh, yeah. Check him out. How about this? Check out the Blaze channel. Check him out. Look him up. He's a pretty cool guy. And that's all I have for you guys tonight. I'll catch you later. Take care. All right, this is Colonel. I need to move this VR headset out of here. Should I put it on? No, Naomi. Oh, goodness, Naomi. Put some clothes on, Naomi. That is not cool. Come on. All right, guys, there you go. That was my little snake signing out. And let me answer one more question because people have been asking me. Have I met David Hayter? No, I have not met David Hayter. We did have a couple of tweets exchanged, you know, but I do want to meet him at the Tampa Comic Con, Tampa Comic Con that's coming out late August. I want to go meet him, and if he allows me, I will record a video where I can interview him or something, but I cannot guarantee you that they're going to let me do it. They do have different policies on the Comic Con, who can interview, who cannot. You do have to, you know, there's regulations, but we'll see. You know, maybe I'll snap a couple of pictures and, you know, But it'll be interesting for me to do the voiceover and then talk to him and see what he says. You know, I don't know. Maybe he will not like me. Maybe he will hate the fact that I'm, you know, mimicking him. I don't know. Or whatever. But anyway, there you have it, guys. That's the end of the stream. But he's a cool guy. David Hayter's a cool guy. He does a lot of charity work for the kids that have leukemia, cancer. So he's a good heart. He's a good person, man. He's a good dude. Okay. So they have it, guys. I'm out.